Yeah, good afternoon, all of you. I think very few people have been joined. May I know, excuse me, may I know, is there anybody remaining, those who want to join the session, please inform them. Today we are going to start clustering, okay? Please inform others. We will wait for 2 minutes. Okay, shall we start? Shall we start? Yeah, good afternoon. Okay. So today we are going to start unsupervised learning technique, okay, that is clustering. I already told you what you mean by unsupervised learning, right? So here we are not going to provide any kind of outputs here, okay? The data will be supplied to the model, but out of the whole data, inputs, only inputs will be supplied, but not the outputs, okay? So that is the main difference between a supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Supervised learning will take both inputs as well as outputs, where clustering will be implemented by only the help of inputs only. How? Let us see. So actually here we are going to give so many input instances, like so many input instances, that is input values, okay? So our unsupervised learning model, what it will do is it will identify some patterns out of all those input variables, okay? It will identify some patterns. According to the patterns, it will divide the objects, okay? So here that will be also defined as grouping of similar objects out of given large collection of objects, okay? So for example, if you if you take our college example, our college contains so many students, of almost 5,000 students, and 600 students per branch. Of course, some branches may have 1,200 students. Okay, so what are these 600 students means? 600, for example, let us take the example of 600 students. Okay, so we have different branches, right? Okay, so here I can say that each and every branch is a cluster. Okay, out of all the our college has been divided into different branches, right? So here I can say that every branch has some set of people, or a set of people or students, okay? That will be those are, I'm calling it as a, those are the set of objects that belongs to that particular branch or that particular cluster, okay? So all the chemical students will form one cluster, all the IT students will form one cluster, all the EC students will form one cluster, okay? Why? What is the similarity between those objects? All are belongs to the same department, or all are belongs to the same branch. That is the similarity. Based on the similarity, the object has been divided, or the students have been divided into the departments, okay? So here data points in the same groups are more similar to the other points in the same group. Okay, for example, if you take any group or any cluster, if you take each and every point will be similar to the other data points. Okay, 1 minute. So, okay, the data points in the same groups are similar to the other data points in the same group. Okay, if you take any one data point in the particular cluster, that will be similar to the other data points in the same cluster, but different with the other cluster. They are dissimilar to the data points in the other cluster. Okay, they will exhibit similarities between the elements. Okay, produce the similarity between the elements only between the same cluster, but they are dissimilar with respect to other clusters. Okay, so this is how a clusters can be represented. Okay, here we have different types of data objects. Okay, based on the similarities, they will be grouped together like this. Okay, so this is before. If you see the diagram, you can observe the data points before grouping and after grouping. After grouping diagram has been represented with the green circles. Okay, each green circle is called as a cluster. Okay, all these data points are belongs to that particular cluster has been represented. Okay, so as we already know, the clusters might not be in the spherical shape. Here in the previous slide, I have represented the cluster in the form of a circle, but there is no such rule that cluster should be in the form of circle only. There is no such rule. Okay, there will be non-spherical shapes also like this. Okay, only thing is you have to group similar object. That's it. That doesn't depends upon any kind of shape or a structure. Okay, the unsupervised modeling or the clustering aim is to group the similar objects. That's it. Okay, group the similar objects into one unit. Okay, that unit will call it as a cluster. Okay, what are the different clustering algorithms we have? So these are the various types of clustering algorithms. Okay, first we have different categories here. Okay, if you observe here, we have a partition based, hierarchical based, okay, density based, grid based, model based. All these things are the main categories of the clustering algorithms. From each and every category, it is going to derive some algorithms. Okay, the default algorithm, which algorithm will come under which category. Okay, so generally in our syllabus or in our content, we are going to discuss only k-means. Okay, which will comes under the partition based clustering. Okay, apart from k-means, we have so many algorithms like this. We have k-medoids, k-modes, Clarence, Clara, FCM, dbScan, dbScala. All so many algorithms are there. But in our content, only we are discussing k-means clustering. We'll discuss about what is a k-means clustering. Okay. Okay. For example, here what we have to do is we have to k-means clustering means first it will start whenever you want to perform this k-means clustering. First of all, you should be fix to a particular number of clusters. Okay, that means how many clusters you want to maintain for the given data points. Okay, how many clusters you want to maintain for the given data points. So here what we have created is model is equal to k-means of n underscore clusters is equal to n, where n is the number of clusters to be found. Okay, so initially if we start with some number of clusters, how the model is going to evaluate our k-means algorithm. So these are the let us see one example so that we can have a clear idea. Okay, for example, here I am going to start with n is equal to 3. N is equal to 3 means what? I want to implement my clustering with 3 clusters. In my k-means algorithm, I want to form 3 clusters for the given data points. So first what we will do is step 1, that is randomly choosing the 3 centroids. Okay, the first step is what? Here your aim is to form 3 clusters, right? Your aim is to form 3 clusters means first you have to randomly choose the 3 centroids first of all. Random, which how we are going to, there is no any strategy or there is no any methodology for selecting the 3 centroids, just randomly choosing the 3 centroids. Step 2 is now we will take the 4th point. Okay, now we will do the 4th point. Why? Because the 3 we have selected 3 points as the 3 centroids. Now we will take the 4th point and we will calculate the Euclidean distance with the remaining 3 centroids. Okay, Euclidean distance means only the distance between 2 points. I think all of you know what is the distance between 2 points, or I think all of you know what is the formula for it also. Okay, distance between the 2 points, that is root over x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. That is what we will call it as a Euclidean distance. So the new point will be calculated with the reference to the new point with all the 3 centroids. Okay, the Euclidean distance is going to be calculated. Okay, so Euclidean distance is going to be calculated here. With what centroid the Euclidean distance is small. Okay, to that centroid this new point is going to belong to. Okay, for example, we have a C1, C2, C3, for example. Okay, let me explain by means of paint. Okay, MS Paint. Okay, for example, initially we have 3 points. This is 1 point. This is 1 point. Okay, this is 1 point, and this is 1 point, for example. Okay, these are the 3 centers what I have selected randomly, for example. Okay, C1, C2, and this is what? C3, for example. These are random selected points and which are not fixed also. Let me clear about this. These 3 centroids are also not fixed. Now what happens is a new point will come here. For example, here there is a new point. Okay, here there is a new point. Let me represent that with some other color. Okay, for example, red color. So this is our new point. Okay, this is our new point. Okay, so this new point, what happens is here I will here I'll name it as a P. P is the new point which should belongs to a particular cluster. So what happens is for this point the centroid distance will be calculated like this. Okay, this is the distance, and this is the distance, and this is the distance. Total 3 distances are going to be calculated. Okay, now the question is this point P is nearer to which centroid? This point P is nearer to which centroid? As you see, P is nearer to what? C1, right? So P is nearer to C1. That's why this point P belongs to the cluster C1. This point belongs to the cluster C1. Are you following or not? Yes? Let me give a black color. The point belongs to the cluster C1 cluster. For example, if P is nearer to the C2, then what happens? This point P will belongs to the cluster C2. For example, if P belongs to the C3, if it is very nearer to C3, then that point belongs to the cluster C3. Like that. So that is the first step 2 that what we have to do. Okay. So the new point will be selected. So the new point will be selected and Euclidean distance have been calculated. After nearest centroid will grab that point into its particular into its respective cluster. Then what happens is step 3, the recalculation of the centroid again taken place for all the clusters. Okay, the recalculation of the centroid again taken place. Okay, then what happens is you have to repeat the step 2 and 3 for all data points. Okay, again recalculating the centroid, again taking the new point, again Euclidean distance will be calculated with all the 3 centroids. To the nearest cluster, that point is going to join. Okay, again you'll recalculate the centroid for all the clusters. Okay, so this process is repeated for all the data points in the given data set. Okay, So when we are performing like that, there is no guarantee that all the points should belongs to any of one clusters. There is no such rule. Okay. So say there are some points. Okay. There are some points which doesn't belongs to any of the clusters. That means here I can say these are the object which doesn't exhibit any similar features to any clusters. Okay, these are the objects which doesn't exhibit any similar properties to any cluster. Then such kind of points we'll call it as a outliers. Such kind of points we'll call it as a outliers. They don't belong to any of the cluster. Is that clear? Any doubts? Any doubts? Please acknowledge through chat. Any doubts? We'll go for practical implementation. Shall we proceed? Nobody are responding. Any doubts? Any doubts? If you don't have doubts, we'll go for practical implementation. Okay? Okay, we'll proceed. So all of you please open your Jupyter notebook. Bhargavi. Sir, class lo unnan sir, andike class okay. Thank you. Okay. I think all of you ready. Okay, let us start a new Python book. Okay, and let me rename it as okay, let it start. Okay, let me rename this untitled document as k-means clustering. Okay, k-means clustering. What is today's date? 29/02/2020. Okay, right. Now, first, what we will do is let me import the data sets. First, import the data set. Okay. So for that, what I'll do is from sklearn, okay, import data sets. From sklearn, import data sets. Okay, first we have imported the data sets. Okay, now what we will do is markdown, loading the data sets. So what we will do is I'll take iris data set only. Okay, so data sets dot load iris. Okay, right? So here I want to take I want to access only inputs. Okay, I want to access only inputs. Load the inputs. Okay, load the input means I will take df is equal to only iris dot data. Okay, I want to take only iris dot data. Let me check how it will be. Okay, okay. Okay, so I'm taking only inputs. Okay, here we don't have any necessity of target, right? Why? Because if I supply the target, then it will become a supervised learning. But our aim is to just operating with only inputs. Am I right? So for that, what I'll do is I'll take X train. Okay. Before that, what we will do is let us first print the length of the data. Okay. Let us first print the length of the data. Length of the data. Okay. So here what we will do is X underscore train is equal to df of len of df. So we have 150 records, right? So what I'll do is I'll take 20%, 80% as the training data. So that is 0 to 4, and columns. Sorry, here we'll select 0 to 120, and number of columns we'll take is 0 to 4. Okay, so I'm taking the training data. Okay, let me give a markdown. Okay, let's divide the data into training and testing sets. Okay, training is 80% and testing is 20%. Okay, so here what we will do is here I already taken 80% of training data. Now I want to take the remaining testing data. Okay. Okay. So now what I'll do is first we will create the model. Okay. Hash create the model. Okay. Now let us create the model. For that, what we will do is first we will import the model from sklearn dot. Otherwise, import the model specific package first. That is from sklearn dot cluster import k-means. So now we want to implement k-means clustering, right? That's why I'm importing the k-means package. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll create the model. Okay. Create the model. So how to create the model means km is equal to k-means of Let me start with the number of clusters is equal to 3. Number of clusters is equal to 3. Now what I want to do is, now I want to train the model. Okay. Train the model. So how to train the model means km dot fit of x underscore train. So the model successfully trained with the given below acknowledgement. Okay. Now let me predict the cluster labels for the remaining testing data. So these are the cluster labels for the remaining data. Okay, the first example in the testing data set belongs to the cluster 1. The second example in the testing data set belongs to the cluster 0. Okay, it is giving the cluster label, cluster identification here. Okay, but we are, if you see here, we are not taking the outputs here. We are only training the model only with the help of inputs. We are not providing any output. That's why it is called as the, that's why it is called as what? It is unsupervised learning technique. So for example, if I want to give markdown here, predicting the cluster labels, or predicting the clusters for testing data. Okay. Okay. Now, if you want to represent it in what do you call graphically, represent it in a graphical manner. So what we will do is here, let me keep this in y underscore, a new variable called y underscore new, and print y underscore new here. Okay, so these are the cluster labels that have been identified for the remaining testing data. Okay, so now what I will do is I want to plot the graph, okay, by taking any one feature from the data set here. For example, we have different data sets. Okay, I want to take x underscore data is equal to df dot ILOC df of let me take only one column. Okay, I will take only one column, and we have the respective labels for those points in the y underscore new. So now what I'll do is, I'll use this import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt, and matplotlib inline. Okay, matplotlib inline. So now what I'll do is plt dot x label is, I want to give it as a clusters, and plt dot y label, let me give it as a data. Okay, now what I'll do is plt dot scatter of which values that we have to plot, that is x y underscore new and x underscore data, and now we want to show that graph. What happened? Okay, we have to take only 0 to 1, right? Okay, we have to consider only 120 to 50 columns only. We have to consider only 120 to 150 and 0 to, and only we have to take only one column, 0. Okay. Why? Because it is a testing data, right? So this is how the clusters will be represented. Okay. So these are the points which has the labels as 0, and these are the points which has the label as 1. Cluster label I am talking about. This is different cluster and this is different cluster. Okay, they have been exactly divided into the cluster 0 and 1. Okay, right? All of you, is it clear? Yes. Let us see one more example. Before that, I want you to download the data set. Okay. I'll give you the how to download the data set also. I'll tell you. Okay. I want you to download the data set as this PAIMA-Indians_diabetes. Okay. All of you, please open Google. In that, PAIMA-Indians-diabetes.csv. Okay. Free download. Okay. So you better go to the GitHub, not Kaggle. Okay. Please, all of you type this query: PAIMA-Indians-diabetes.csv free download. So what is it actually? It is a diabetic data, sugar patient data set it is. Okay, I want you to download that CSV file. Okay, all of you please download the CSV file. You'll get these links. In that, go to GitHub link. Don't go to Kaggle link. Okay, go to GitHub link. And here you'll have a download zip option here. Okay, click that download zip. Okay, so this is the data set of diabetic patients. So go to show all and go to the show in folder. And in this zip file, right click on this, click on extract here. Extract here and go to the folder, and this is the data set. Okay, this is your data set, and copy wherever you want to copy. Okay, after that, open this. After that, open this. If you open this file, it will look like this. The data set will look like this. Okay, please do what I'm doing the same manner. Okay, first here, give the label as pregnancies. Okay, this is the first label. Exactly top to the 6, you have to give pregnancies. And the second label that you have to give is plasma glucose. And the third one is blood pressure. And the fourth one is triceps skin. Okay. Next is serum. Okay. Next is BMI, body mass index, and the diabetes. Otherwise, you can say that pedigree, and age, age, and finally class. Okay. Okay, give the column names like this, exactly upon the values that we have been listed here. And then what you have to do is you have to delete the top 9 rows. Right click and delete. Okay, you understand? Give the column labels and delete the top 9 rows. Okay, so this is the resultant data set we have. Yes, all of you done it? Yes, all of you done this? Any doubts? All of you prepared your data set? Please acknowledge. All of you prepared the data set? Please acknowledge through chat. This data set is ready with you? What are the operations that I have done? The same operations you have done it? Yes? Shall I proceed? If anybody have any doubt, please ask me, no problem, I'll stop. Okay, now what I'll do is, I'll take this data set, save it, and I want to take this data set here, and I want to paste it here. Yeah, I want to replace it. Okay. Now come back to your notebook. Again, load the diabetic data set. Okay, so I want to give it as a diab is equal to, I want to use pandas as PD and also import numpy as np, and here I want to load the diabetic data set pd dot read underscore csv, that is f Paima hyphen Indians, Paima hyphen Indian diabetes dot csv. I have executed. Okay, so successfully loaded. Now let us check the data set once, diab.head. So these are the columns we have in the diabetic data set. Okay, so here our aim is what actually? Yes, can anybody tell? Our aim is what? Our aim is drop this class value, this class column is the target or the output. Okay, the remaining all are inputs. Now my aim is to clusterize these diabetic patients. Okay, for that what I will do is I will take the columns diab underscore study, that is diab dot drop off class access is equal to 1. Okay, so without this last column, I want to take that all the remaining as the input features or inputs. Okay, so in the diab underscore study we have the input columns. So now what I'll do is I want to divide this diab underscore study into training data set. Before that, let us check the length of the data. length of diabetic data, that is len of DIAB underscore study. So we have totally 768 records are there. Okay. So now what I will do is I will create the X underscore train, that is diab underscore study. Okay. For example, what is the 80% of 768? 615 almost. Okay. So what I will do is I will take 615 records, and I want to consider only the columns 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That means I'll take 0 to 8 here. Okay, this is my training data. Similarly, the testing data is diab underscore study, that is 615 to 768. Okay, so we have made .ilc. Okay, X underscore test is equal to diab underscore study dot ILOC 615 to 768 and 0 to 8 columns. Okay. So now what we will do is we'll create the model. Create the model. So how we can create the model, that is KM1 is equal to K means of N underscore clusters is equal to, for example, I want to divide them as 4 clusters, for example. Okay, I want to divide them into 4 clusters and I want to train my model. Train the model. Okay, train the model. Now I want to use km1.fit of X underscore train. Okay, the model has been successfully trained. Okay, now let us predict the label for the remaining data. Okay, predict the clusters labels for the remaining data, that is X underscore test. So let us set cell. Predict the clusters for testing data. Okay. So now what I will do is here I have successfully printed the testing data. Now let me print those clusters labels. These are the cluster labels what we have created. That's why you can see here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 types of labels here, right? Now let us see the graphical plot. Okay, let us see the graphical plot. For that, what I will do is first I will take the data here. X underscore data is equal to X underscore test of X underscore test of 615 to 768, only 0th column. .ils. Okay, now let us import matplotlib. Import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, and matplotlib is inline. Okay, plt dot axelable axelable clusters, and plt dot py label, that is data. Okay, so now what I want to do is plt dot scatter of y underscore new one comma data is what, x underscore test. So plt dot show. Sorry, not x underscore data, x underscore test here. Here what you have to give is the x underscore data. This, okay. One minute, I'll show you. Okay, let me take only one value, any one column value directly. Okay, don't take arrays. Okay, for example, instead of x underscore data, what I want to do is I will take any one column value directly in the testing data. In the testing data, I want to take directly the plasma glucose values. Okay, and I want to plot the graph. Plasma glucose. One minute, here G is small, I think. Yeah. So this is how the clusters have been formed. Okay. This is how the clusters have been formed as per the testing data set of the remaining data set, remaining testing data set. Okay. The diabetic patients remaining testing data set, we have predicted the labels. Okay. So we have done it. Okay. All of you clear about this? All of you got the graph? All of you got the graph? Please acknowledge through chat. Please acknowledge through chat. Nobody is responding. Okay. So I'll give you an assignment. I'll give you assignment. Keep on change the number of clusters. Okay. Keep on change the clusters and print the predicted cluster labels for PIMA Indians diabetic data set. Okay. And another assignment, one more question I want to give is cross check the accuracy by comparing with the output labels. Okay, cross check the accuracy by comparing with output labels. Okay, that means how many labels are, that means you can do with only for iris data set. Do it for only, do it for iris data set with the number of clusters 3. Similarly, PIMA Indians diabetic with the number of clusters 2. Okay, yeah, cross check the accuracy. Okay, what we will do is we will take the target of the data set also now. You will take the target of the data set and you will compare the cluster labels with the target data set. How many target data set labels are matching with the cluster label, that will give you the accuracy. Okay, these are the 2 questions. Please follow through. Okay, today we'll close. Okay, because I'm not happy with the today's attendance. That's why I'm losing interest day by day. Okay, it is not correct. It is discouraging the faculty. The initial class, I have seen more than 100 students that are attending the session. I don't know what is the fault. I already, if after every 5 minutes, I'm asking any doubt, but nobody are responding. Okay, nobody are responding, and later nobody are joining the sessions. Today, very poor attendance is there. If you want, you can see on the screenshot, only 24 students are there. That's why I don't have any interest today. That is why I'm closing the session early today. Okay, if you want to really learn the machine learning concept, join the tomorrow session. This is not for me. Okay, I have already done the certifications. It is not doing for me. Okay, it is I'm doing it for you, for your benefit. You may get large packages outside the world. Okay, even in this situation, you may have the chance of getting large packages. Okay, you don't know what is the demand in the machine learning in the outside. If you want to learn outside, if you want to learn in the outside institutes, you pay 20,000 or 25,000 or 30,000. That is your wish. Okay, I don't have any objection. Okay, this is only for your benefit. It is not for me.